All right, you guys. Hello, happy Sunday. I'm so excited to plan with you guys. We are going to do things just like normal, change things up a little bit. You guys know I'm always growing with this. This was something Lindsay and I started, kind of like how the batching content just like comes together. And then all of a sudden you're like, okay, I got to like learn how to do all this stuff. So it's the same thing. So if you guys ever have any tips or tricks or things that are helping you with your planning, make sure you drop them in the chat because everybody plans a little bit differently. So I give you guys a lot of free range, right? Like I kind of let you get your own feet wet, I guess, so to speak, when it comes to planning and build that confidence. And how I might do things might not be how you like to do things, or my type of personality, like might be like, nope, I need this. Some people need more structure. Some people don't like as much structure. Some people like everything to be like X, Y, and Z, right? So, you guys making sure you share any tips and tricks in the chat is huge. So, we're going to start off this planning Zoom. We are going to do our goals for the week. So what does that mean? How many reels do you want to get out this week? I want you to go ahead and write that down. I want you to write down if you plan on doing lives. I want you to look at your calendar. When are you going to do your lives? Plug those in. If you are going to try to push for trial packs, what day are you going to talk about trial packs? Maybe it be in your stories, maybe it be a post, maybe it be a reel. So you need to like make a separate note, like I need to make a reel about trial packs. Whatever the case may be, set up your goals for this week. How many customers do you want? So on and so forth. Last week, you guys, I put that I wanted to get 5 Galentine bags out. Guess how many I got out? 5, exactly 5 Galentine bags. So clearly I need to up my number because when I speak it, it happens. So, and then I'm talking to a few other people about them. So you guys, I did do the Galentine bags. And I will say this much, if you are somebody that like, I always preach, go to the link tree in my bio, or I put my little thing, I changed it up this time and did the Galentine bags. You guys, I got like the little heart, I don't know if you guys saw them, but they were like little stress balls. They cost me less than $1. And I got 2 suckers and I did some plus line products. And I just did 2 days, and I have more people in my inbox that have been watching me forever that could have easily gotten on a trial pack any other time, but for some reason that drew them in. So like for March, I'm going to do another theme and do that again. So this way, like I'm doing the link tree in my bio, I'm doing the like, hey, go to the link tree in my bio, hey, click this link, or hey, these are my trial packs I have, this is special limited time offer, because it just kind of brings trial packs to them in different ways. So sometimes think outside the box, you guys, because some people love a theme. That's what I kind of gathered from that. I think that most of them tried it because they just loved a good theme. Yep, St. Patrick's Day. You can do anything springtime, that sort of thing. So go ahead. I'm going to mute myself for the next few minutes. Start planning your goals for this week. How many customers, promoters, so on and so forth. Oh, Priscilla, I was talking about doing, I did Galentine bags. So I geared them more towards Valentine's. I put strawberry shake in there. I did a blast because it's your reds. I did appleberry activate. I did a couple suckers, and I did like a heart emoji stress ball thing. And so that's what I did and made these like cute little packs. So they barely cost me anything to do. So just kind of changing a way of sampling things out. Spring break is coming up, right? In April, right? Yeah, because that's when Easter is. Think about your mom friends that are going to have their kids home all week, right? So maybe you could get a little goodie bags together that have like the 3 steps, and maybe you could put chill in there, like one chill. You could put I don't know what do you moms need, right? And activate to keep up with them. You could put a thirst in there and say like you have your spring break goodie bags for your moms, right? And you could do the like one day with a couple things like that and get them out there. So think ahead to you guys, these types of things. This way you're kind of planning, and then I'm all about planning. Another little good idea, you guys, because spring break is coming, so many people are going on vacations. So I would say like March is right around the corner. I would really maybe start to like suggest our weight loss type of stuff, heat, that sort of thing, because so many people are starting their like diets. I hate to say that word, but you guys know, like that's just the way that a lot of them think, right? They're about to start that because they want to get bathing suit ready for spring break, right? So now is the time to start maybe introducing them to heat, maybe talking about our upgraded wearable nutritions, maybe talking about the duo, the gut health, just that sort of thing. So start to think of like fast forward what people are going to be going for and come back and start now with those types of things. Yep. Highlight a product a week. That's an awesome thing. Another thing that Rochelle mentioned in the batching content, you guys, is going to the Lavelle official page. You will see so many stories. And what I actually want to start doing is, and this, I have not tried it yet, but I'm going to share it with you guys, is what I'm going to do is start taking, like saving the before and after and actually going into my stories and talking about that person's journey, their before and after, and say, you guys, look at Beth, and point down to the picture because I'll have Beth right there and say like, look at her before and after. She was a struggling mom, X, Y, and Z, and really starting to share more stories, not just before and after slides, really starting to share the story of the person. We already have the before and after slides going up, but you guys, how many times do you really get in your stories and share somebody's actual story, right? Like we really don't. And that's where people can relate, right? Stories sell. We hear that all the time. Stories sell. So just something that it's been nagging at me to start doing this because I've been like praying about like, what can I do for my business to help it explode? And I keep getting this. So I'm like, all right, I surrender. I'm going to listen. So just something to think about, you guys. You can always turn it into a live. Absolutely. But in our stories, it's great because you can pop up their photo while you're talking, right? So that's a really good idea. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we are going to plan our work with me's. So you guys remember, if you don't plan on getting on the work with me, don't put it in your planner. And the reason why I say that is this is your accountability partner. So what you write down, this should be what you're trying to stick to, right? So if you don't plan on going to that work with me, you're putting it down and you're giving your brain that okay to not hit those things, right? Because you already plan on not going. So for me, when I write things down, that's because that's my goals. That's what I'm trying to get at. So we're going to go ahead and do our work with me's. And you guys always know where to find work with me's. I get this when I see this question in the chats when it's like, what time's the work with me? What's the Zoom ID? All this. I'm like, all right, I gotta be better at my planning Zooms of sharing where you guys can get this stuff. So if you go into your team page, whether it be Limitless, whether it be Lionhearted, if you have another team page, I'm sure that they do this as well. If you go in, you click on it, you're gonna go to the top and you are going to see your team schedule. Okay, ours is red for Limitless, and we're gonna go over our work with me's. And then we're going to plug in our other Zooms. Okay. So our work with me's are all Eastern Standard Time. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday are 10 a.m. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 10 a.m. Tuesday and Thursday, 8 p.m. So 10 a.m. on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8 p.m. on Tuesday and Thursday. All right. And then go ahead and plug in any other Zooms that you guys have, right? If you have a team Zoom that your leader hosts, go ahead and plug that in right now, or our multiple leaders. Go ahead and plug in all of those right now. We'll do that for the next minute. All right. So now we're going to plan our content for the week. So if you have all of your batching content already ready, so maybe you were on the batching Zoom, maybe you watched last week's batching Zoom, so you're like kind of flip-flopping, right? Everybody watches different things, or maybe you still have some topics from last week that you actually didn't get out because something else came up or something like that. I want you to go ahead and look at your notes. So if you were just on the batching Zoom, you have all of your batching content. If you don't, that's totally fine. You can pick out what you're going to talk about based off of your fives. So you can go and decide that you maybe want to talk about the energy and the product, and you want to share with somebody that might be lacking energy, how it changed your world. Maybe you want to share on Tuesday about the opportunity and how every week we get a paycheck. So every week you can give yourself a raise in this industry, right? We don't have a capped income. Nobody's telling you you can only make X amount of dollars. You guys, that's actually what drew me into the industry in the beginning. So like when I saw in the very beginning prior to Thrive, this isn't my first rodeo. I liked that things were uncapped. The reason being was I didn't have a degree. I was a licensed cosmetologist, but I didn't like that the only, like the way the world was that you had to have a college degree to make a lot of money. I didn't like that. So when I saw that network marketers and they were preaching it was an uncapped income, you were on the same playing field as a doctor, a lawyer, and all this kind of stuff, that is what drew me to this industry. That's what ignited my passion and my fire. So are you talking about those things? Think of the things that drew you in and make sure that you're talking about them, because somebody else is looking for that too. So I'm going to go ahead and mute myself. And what you need to do, you guys, is let's say you have some of your batching content, like Rochelle always preaches. Does like one of them need to be a reel? So maybe you decide that one's going to be a reel. So you're going to know that you need to find a sound for that one. Maybe one of them is going to be a post. So hey, I want to do a picture with this one. Maybe you're going to change some of them into story content as well. So you kind of know this is the time to sit with your planner and really write things out. So I'm going to time block myself for probably like 5-ish plus minutes. I'll check in at 5 with you guys. But this is where you really need to plan. So sit with your 5, sit with what you want to talk about, and start writing those things out. And this way, then hey, okay, I want to talk about that. I need a reel for that, so on and so forth. If you have any questions, please drop them in the chat, and I will check in with them. But otherwise, we're taking the time right now to plan for our week and have everything ready to go content-wise. And we'll circle back and talk a little bit more about stories. But this is a good time to also even start planning your stories and stuff too. So just to, you guys, just kind of what, I know the batching Zoom is a little bit newer for a lot of us, and maybe coming into the planning Zoom, it's kind of like, okay. So what I do is I have a folder, like Rochelle had mentioned, I put a folder in my Thrives folder. And then what I do is every post gets its own little, like I open a new note. And at the top of it is what Rochelle named them. So like algorithm boost, red flags, someone not using this that might, someone not using this might experience or need. It doesn't work. Can we normalize no cold message and personal testimony? So at the top of mine, what I do is like, I have it, I don't know if you guys can see, I have it so that I see the starter line that Rochelle kind of gives to us that helps us. So then what I do, like right now when I'm planning, I'm plugging in algorithm boost. So like I know I called it engagement on here. So like Monday I'm doing engagement. On Tuesday my post is normalize. On Wednesday it's my personal testimony. And then do you see what I'm saying? So how I plug it in, so how I take what she just did with us in the batching content and then how I plug it into my calendar. So if you're somebody that is new to that, awesome. Topics, yep, perfect. What photo? Perfect. Yep. So I'm more so like my photos come at the end of this. When we start doing photos, I put everything in a post like folder, and then I just go and grab from there. So that's a majority of the time what I do. Like one of them, the red flags for me is community. So I have some pictures from when we were in Florida a year ago. And I actually already know what photo I'm going to use for mine. So that sort of thing. So it's like I already have it in my head. But that's kind of how like when Rochelle says in the batching that we come here and that's what we do, that's kind of how we piece together that puzzle. In case any of you guys needed, it's kind of shown a little bit more in depth. And that's when you decided if it's going to be a post, you want to make a reel about that, so on and so forth. So like for me, when I'm doing the red flags in the circle I sit with in my table, that one's going to be just a post because of my photo, right? I'm not going to do a reel about that. But if I had content from like being at a palooza or being at stuff where I have like videos and all that of all of us together, I probably would do it as a reel, right? So like those types of things is how you need to sit and think about things. Okay. So does anybody have any questions? If you need more time, drop it in the chat. I'm more than happy to give more time, you guys. If not, we're going to just move on and we can always circle back. Okay. So we're going to talk about our stories. Another reason why, you guys, it's good to really plan out your content and see it on paper is so that you kind of know you're following that 80-20, right? You don't want to be just thrive, thrive, thrive. You want to be able to throw in your life in there too. So with being able to like kind of split up your post and you know kind of what you want to talk about, whether you already batched it with us or you know the things you want to talk about, you can make sure that you're talking thrive, but you're also talking personal life, so on and so forth. So planning it out and having it all laid out like we do right now is to allow you to not get flipped. And the reason why I say that is I used to be somebody that was just like, oh, I'll post about the product, I'll post about this, I'll post about that. And then the next thing I knew, I was all product and business because that's just what I thought about every single day. So now that we actually plan things out, it's a little bit more planned, I can make sure that I'm not getting to be 80% Thrive, only 20% Christina. I'm having a healthy balance in there. So that's really huge. So let's talk about our stories, you guys. We just talked about different ways to go into your stories. Making sure your products are up every single day is really, really huge. So if you're not doing that, you guys take people along for your journey. Something that Danny said on her work with me this week is if she's not taking her step 1 right at that time or step 2, she's not posting it. She takes people through her actual morning routine. So I loved that. She said sometimes her mornings are busy. I actually noticed Rochelle did that on one of hers. Like she got like things were different. So she came later to do her step 2. And the reason why I use Rochelle a lot is she's literally the box right next to me. So she's my guinea pig. But I loved that when Danny said, like, if I'm rushing out of the house in the morning, I'm literally taking them with me. And then I'm coming back and showing them, hey, this is now I'm taking my 3 steps and I'm taking the time for myself. So it also shows like in her busy mornings, like she said, she takes her 3 steps while she's getting her kids together. So people can see, hey, you can get your kids ready and have them eating breakfast, but you also supplying for yourself too. So I love that she said, I don't do something like I don't show something if I'm not doing it. So be authentic, you guys. I don't take step 1. You will never see step 1 in my stories. So the only time you see step 1 in my stories is when I'm actually showing it for Keith. But guess what? All my 3 steps, everybody starts on a 3-step. I have people all the time that say to me, what do you mean you don't have? Like Sam Brown, she was like, you don't take the first step. I always thought you did. You just didn't share it. I'm like, no, I take you through my routine. My lifestyle mixes are done in the afternoon, right? So I don't try to get my lifestyle mix up in the morning because I'm not taking it then. So I have it at my lunchtime. That's when I drink my lifestyle mix. So I share that. So I allow people to see, but do I always preach the 3-step being done in the first 20 minutes of your day? Absolutely. But I always say it's versatile and it will fit with you, right? So I'm always authentic to me. So when it comes to your stories, what are you going to talk about in your stories this week? Get a little bit, decide what you're going to talk about. Maybe you're going to talk about the $25 off. Maybe you haven't talked about that yet. Maybe you're going to talk about something that has to do with the business side of things. Maybe you're going to talk about Palooza because maybe you just bought your ticket or you're ready to go to Palooza or you're so excited for the people and surrounding yourself with that. So maybe you're going to talk about that. Maybe you haven't gotten your airline ticket yet for Palooza. Get in your stories and say, hey guys, I'm going to Palooza. Explain what it is. I need to buy my airfare. Like, do you guys like anybody go on these like cool like flight sites that like give them the cheapest flights? Like anybody good about like getting flights because I need flights to get to Palooza, right? So share that kind of stuff with them. You could also talk about the fact that at the end of this month, they'll be dropping probably our next lifestyle getaway. We have new products coming. So hype up your people for that. Are you going to talk about a before and after story? Pick somebody, showcase them, highlight them, talk about their before and after in your stories. Get your 5s out, right? Get your 5s out and decide what you're going to talk about in your stories on top of sharing your normal everyday life. Okay. So this is just getting a little bit more planned. So you talk about the product and the business, but making sure that you also are sharing your everyday life, your kids going grocery shopping, bus drop off, bus pick up, whatever it is, you guys take people through your life. I will tell you, I am home all day, right? I don't, this is my full-time job and I'm home all day. So even when people are like folding laundry or like cooking or something, like I'm entertained. Okay. I like to see that kind of stuff. I don't watch very much TV. So, to me, like I enjoy seeing what people are doing, even if it's like the most mundane things. It also helps me to get ideas because sometimes I'm sitting there twiddling my thumbs and someone else is folding laundry and I'm like, I'm gonna go fold some laundry. Okay. Like, so I will even post like, this is your reminder, get the clothes out of the dryer, right? You know what I mean? Those types of things. So I'm going to go ahead and mute myself for a few minutes. Go ahead and break down what you want to talk about in your stories each day. This way you kind of go into every day with a plan. What day do you want before and afters to go up? Do you have a promo you're running? Maybe the $25 off, you're going to actually offer that off of our detox and talk about the detox and how people can get the detox for $25. Or maybe you have credits available and you're going to give them the detox for free with their 3-step purchase, right? That means you just putting in an extra 25 of your own credits. Think outside the box, you guys. I was sharing that with one of the girls on my team and she was like, I never would have thought to do that. $25 off the detox would make it 25 for them, or give them detox free with their 3 steps because I'm taking that $25 credit for them. And then I use my own credits, right? And that will really help people jumpstart a weight loss journey or whatever it may be. Pick your favorite product, maybe showcase that and highlight that this week. So this is where you want to really dive into where you're going to post some before and afters. Are you going to do free shipping? What are you going to do? So on and so forth. Thirst. Yes. Detox with thirst for free. I love that. So you can get the detox and thirst for free with it. Such a great idea. If you guys have any ideas like that, drop them in the chat so everybody can get some different ideas of maybe what to post using the $25 off. It doesn't just have to be like showing all the products with $25 off. You could do a product. Rochelle, if you're still there, will you do the one about balance where you did the balance and then you sent them a 3-day trial? What was that? I can't think right this second. Hopefully she's still behind her. Oh, yay. She's typing it. See? All right. So some people drop some stuff. Yes, the balance one, you guys, that I was asking Rochelle to drop in there is she tosses them like $4 in credits on top of the 25. So it brings it to basically $15. And then they get a 3-day trial with it. So it's $15 for balance plus a 3-day trial pack. I thought that one was really cute, really great idea. And you could probably do that, you guys, with like any product. Maybe it be balance. You could do thirst, you could do activate, you could do anything. And then if you want to throw them a 3-day trial too, some people like to charge for their 3-day trials. So if that's you, you would just kind of adjust, or if you're doing them for free, you then obviously just offer that. So you can do trial packs from your back office. So if you're newer, you can buy them in your back office and they ship directly out, which is such a huge like saving grace if you're somebody that can't get to the post office all the time. Or you can buy them from your own stock. So, or send them from your own stock. So you could actually do the 160 pack on auto ship. So you get the free boxes of lifestyle mix. So you're getting 30 days of capsules, you're getting 32 shakes, and then you're getting 30 days of the wearable nutrition. And you can make your own trial packs. And then if you wanted to sell them, you can, or you can use your credits to buy it all and then, get the products out there. Honestly, you guys, I've done both. I've done where I have sold trial packs, and then I have done where I give them for free. And honestly, it's just going to be completely up to you, your budget, what fits for you and what feels best for you. So keep that in mind. I did it one way, I did it the other way, and I have just the style that works preferably for me. So please keep in mind that just because somebody you see does them for free, or somebody you see sells them and charges for them, that your way is not right or wrong. It's whatever is best and feels best for you. Proceed. Okay. So I like to touch base on that. All right. So now we have our stories set up, you guys. So when I look at my calendar right now, and I hope you guys are all too, when you look at your calendar, you've got your work with me, so you know what Zooms you're attending. So you know when you're plugging in, you have what days you're going live, you have your goals for the week. So you know what you're talking about. You have all your posts. So you know, like whether it's going to be a reel or a post or what you got to get going on, you know what you're talking about in your stories. I have all of that written down. Like, I feel so good about this week. Like, I already know what I'm walking into. One of the biggest things, you guys, that I love to do, and I used to do it and then I stopped doing it and I started implementing it last week, is at night before I unplug. So I now unplug and read a book. And that's my hats off, Christina, you kicked ass today. Go celebrate and read your book. I read a romance novel or something fun. And what I do is I sit there and I get everything ready for the next day. My reel that's drafted, I go and put my text in there. I put my cover photo on it. So I know that everything is ready to go and post. I know what photo is going with what. Obviously, it's in my calendar too, but I mean, I have it to the point where I literally just have to log on and press submit to get my reel out. And then I obviously go to Facebook, and then everything is saved in my draft, so that I just go, when I log right back into Facebook, it's already up there with my photo and everything. Sometimes Facebook will take it away if it's been too long, but majority of the time, if you go and put it and then exit, you can save as draft. You can do the same thing on Instagram. You can save drafts. Personally, I like to do one day at a time. I don't like to save too many drafts because then I notice I never use them. So I get all confused. Thanks, Rochelle. So what I do then is I will at night, I go ahead and get everything ready for the next day. All my before and afters that I'm going to post, I already have them ready to go. Whatever is in my calendar, I at night take about 15 minutes. You guys, it's not very long because everything is already done, and I get myself set up for the day. My before and afters are ready to go. My photos are ready to go. My captions are where they need to be. I already know what I'm posting. So when I log in the next day to work my business, everything is ready to go. I'm not then trying to go grab my text, put it here, figure out what's going on. Does that make sense? I really set myself up for success the night before, so that when I wake up, it's just like bam, bam, bam. Okay. So that is something really huge that has helped me tremendously, is taking that 15 minutes at night before I unplug to look at my calendar for the next day, see everything that I have going. Another thing that I have is I always have a, what is this? Notebook. Thank you. I always have a notebook next to me and I brain dump. So what I started doing is, I am somebody that can make a very long to-do list, get very overwhelmed and not do any of it because I'm so overwhelmed by all the things I have to do. I don't know where to start. So I actually have a top 3. So I have my business all set up and everything to do. And then I have a top 3 that needs to get done. So for example, one of the days last week was pack trial packs, mail them out. I needed to clean out the boxes in my dining room, put them in the garage, and I wanted to go live in Limitless, right? So do you see what I'm saying? So I have top 3 things that are personal, some are business, like that, whatever. Most of the time it's my personal life that I need to get done. Maybe it's fold the laundry, maybe it's clean the bathrooms, the top 3 things that I want to get done. So I have my business all set up because we just did that. My non-negotiables, I know that I do my IPAs, I do my focused IPA. I'm going to chat on that real quick and then we'll kind of just log off. Focused IPAs, you guys, are anywhere from 3-2-1s, interaction, adding to your network, cleaning up, that sort of thing. So a focused IPA is you do your full round of IPAs in the morning. So that is the list that like Lynn sends in our team chat. You do your full IPAs in the morning. And then what I like to do is decide what my business needs. So recently I've been really focusing on interactions, 3-2-1s, and growing my network. So there will be days where I am just hanging out in my stories all day long. The reason why I hang out in the stories for the most interaction, I still hit interactions on newsfeed, but I really focus on story interactions is because I get in their DMs. I get to know them. What happens then is because we started talking in the DMs, my stories are going to start showing up in their story algorithm. And the reason being that you guys, that's so important. Where do we do most of our sharing? In our stories. Where do we do most of our selling, so to speak? In our stories, right? So people get to know, like, and trust you in your stories if you're on there, showing them your life, getting face to face, taking along for the journey. So being in the DMs and really getting that algorithm to ignite is so huge. I talked about that on the training I did with Lynn's last week. So focused IPAs, 3-2-1s. So a lot of times I will add to my network and do 3-2-1s at the same time. I like to do a 3-2-1, then add the person. The reason being is I don't like to just go mass add and then circle back. I noticed that I wasn't getting very many people coming back and friending me back, which is okay. But I noticed when I actually go and do a 3-2-1, maybe I'll only like 2 photos and maybe I'll comment on one and maybe I'll say something in the stories if there is, and then I like them or then I follow them. I'm getting more people following me back and really getting that engagement and friendship going because they're seeing like I was actually invested in their page when I decided to follow them. So I do my 3-2-1, then follow. Everybody's a little bit different. Some people think that that's not, doesn't feel right for them. So they'd rather follow, then do 3-2-1s like a couple days later. You guys have to find what vibes for you. That is the secret sauce, is finding and taking these IPAs that we have and really focusing in on them, but making them your own, not reinventing the wheel. That's a totally different thing. I want to touch on that, but making them your own. So for me right now, this has been working really, really well. I'm getting great conversations, people following me back and so on. So I do a lot of 3-2-1s as a focused IPA. And I do a lot of story interactions. So I add 3-2-1s, story interactions, kind of how I go throughout my my week on top of my full list of IPAs. Make sure you're doing having all the pieces to your puzzle, right? Okay. So you guys, I'm going to go ahead. Normally we block this next like 15-20 minutes to get ourselves prepared for the week. So I know that so many of you guys have so much going on today with Valentine's Day, with having Super Bowl and everything like that. So I'm going to stay on for a little bit and continue to plan out my week. But if you want to hop off, 100% hop off. I won't keep it going the full till 12:30, just because I know that so many people have things going this way. You guys don't feel like you have to stay on. But if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. I'm going to take the next few minutes to get my photos ready. So meaning I'm going to go through some photos like past content. And I'm going to go ahead and put my filter on it. Another thing is, you guys make sure in your planner, if you need content photos, that's in there. If you need to check in with your customers, that's in here. When we say planning, you guys, I really could sit here and plan with you for hours. But it's really going to be up to you to figure out systems that work. So like I have trial packs that just went out. So I have check-in days for my trial packs because they all are going to different states. So not everybody's getting them at the same time. So I have different check-ins for that. I have customers that I need to check in that just started their Thrive experience. So that's in my planner to check in. I'm trying to think what else that I have to check in. Some of my promoters, I like to just check in, see how they're doing, see how life is. So I just check in, not from a like leader standpoint, but from just like a, hey, how's everything going? I know you were dealing with X, Y, and Z, or hey, how did it go at work? I know you were pushing for this promotion, that sort of thing. So bye, Ashley. I know all the Super Bowlers. Yes. So that's why you guys, honestly, I know like so many of you guys have so much to do. So thank you so much for hopping on. I hope you guys all have a great week. We will see you next. I will pray for you, girl. We will see you next week on the planning and batching Zooms and all of that. But otherwise, I'm going to mute myself for a little while. And then if you guys want, you can stay on. If not, hop off. And I will see you guys all next week. All right, guys. Hope you have a great rest of your day. I'm going to hop off and I'll see you guys all next week. Bye.